Welcome to the Inspired Hive podcast, where ideas ignite action and success stories fuel your next level up. I'm your host, Margo, and we're here to empower entrepreneurs, leaders, and professionals like you with the tools and inspiration to cultivate your dreams into reality. Let's dig in. Hello, my Inspired Hive podcast community. I have had several requests to talk about uncertainty. It makes sense as many folks are experiencing events in our world today as uncertain. Folks have a sense of negativity and doom increasingly with the experience in everyday life. Events seemingly grounded in politics, government, news, weather, they're streaming into us through our devices, resources that we consult, and can really seem like a constant flow of angst. Humans thrive on routine. Most living things have patterns and sets of habits that support our survival based on skills and talents that we have. We have a collective of interactions within or sometimes even across species that enhance our populations. For example, mice are busier at night because it's harder for prey to spot them then. Ants create lines and pathways for carrying food to their homes, and sometimes you can even watch them making bridges across things that one individual ant might not be able to span themselves, creating a road for the rest. Humans tend to sleep more at night and work during the day, during the light, and they tend to partner with others to accomplish daily functions and business goals. These are types of strategies and routines that really help keep our growth and movement forward. These types of routines can bring comfort and predictability to our days, and we tend to enjoy that. These patterns can also bring a reliance and an overdependence that makes interruptions to the normal routine uncomfortable. And that disruption can often lead or sometimes even be interpreted as discomfort. In times of uncertainty, there are these times that are interruptions to that comfort that are really thought of as outliers, when in fact, the patterns that help bring us comfort are the very patterns that also create uncertainty. I realize this is a bit to wrap our brains around, and I'd love to spend a moment just contemplating this. Imagine your routine driving to work, leaving at the same time each day, navigating the same route each day, seeing many of the same drivers on the road each day. This was actually me during my year in internship in Columbus, Ohio. And there was one driver I would routinely see, and she did her makeup from the start of commute to wherever she was going in our stop and go traffic. And it was super impressive. You leave for work at the same time every day, you drive that same route, you mostly park in the same spot every day. And then one day there's an accident, and that closes a few lanes of the highway. It stalls your routine. You may experience discomfort for those in the accident. You may have anxiousness because you're late for an important meeting, and experience stress throughout the rest of your day for the fallout from that forced interruption in your routine. But the next day, not thinking much about yesterday, you may be thinking, hey, that was no big deal. We're just going about our usual routine. So we leave at the same time, take the same route. But that accident actually resulted in many lanes of traffic being rerouted for construction. And that construction today now appears like it's a bit more permanent, and This is now your second day of unplanned interruption to your usual routine or schedule. Now, there's more discomfort, more distress that you might be experiencing, and you might even feel anxiousness. But you're a quick learner, and this interruption times two now in your day is forcing you to reconsider your tomorrow plan. Either you need to leave much earlier so you won't be late for your meetings, or you need to find a new route. There is some certainty in leaving earlier using the same route, but not full certainty. And there's an awful lot of uncertainty in how a new routine might go or a new route might go for you. To accommodate that, you might actually double up on the strategy and leave really early, implementing a new route on your way to work to ensure any unplanned aspects will not interrupt the rest of your day. There's still a human need to reduce that discomfort as much as possible while navigating something new and unfamiliar. It's like bringing our Snuggie to summer camp. But here's the thing, certainty is really an illusion that we have grown comfortable with. Constant is the real change and disruption that occurs all of the time that we just kind of brush aside or don't pay a lot of attention to. Those who choose to navigate with growth, empowering mindset, are those who seem, from us onlookers, to have it all together, but I assure you they don't. They are simply leaning in to the change and asking themselves some slightly different questions. They ask things like, what is this preparing me for? Instead of, why is this happening to me? Those folks are the ones challenging themselves to find the lessons and not just experience the challenge. They're the ones who are creating intentional growth instead of diving into the comfort of routine. Folks who navigate uncertainty well are those who have a calm presence of thinking on their feet. But how do they do that? How have they cultivated that think on their feet skill? They practice it. They practice it every day in slight forms and large forms. But why do we have to do that? Well, it turns out when we lean into understanding, we can tolerate uncertain times, events, experiences, resources, relationships, whatever. We gain a level of personal fortitude that rises our confidence above our discomfort. We learn that if we put our mindset to it, we can survive a discomfort. Just like that caterpillar survives the chrysalis. And when we come out on the other side, there's new growth to celebrate. It doesn't negate the challenges or the uncomfortable times or the terrible things we may have experienced, but it serves to form that fortitude, that internal growth foundation for us as an individual, understanding that we can survive more than we really think we can. Folks who navigate uncertainty with a calm presence of thinking on their feet have found meaning in their journey. And generally, they're not setting out to find that meaning, and that wasn't their intended goal. How do you practice thinking on your feet, especially when you're not wishing to learn during catastrophe or not wanting to go out and find catastrophe to make that happen? Well, the secret is to Include some amount of uncertainty in your daily life. To seek and look for and lean into that uncertainty as an opportunity for growth instead of seeing it as an obstacle. Change things up from time to time. Go a different route to the gym, to the store, to work, to the carpool line. Call a friend instead of texting. Have breakfast for dinner. Try the dog walk in the reverse manner. Look for opportunities to experience uncertainty. Allow the discomfort to be present. Feel your mindset of calmness help you tolerate that uncomfortableness. Notice how you can bend without breaking. And truly experience how you can choose a different response in these moments that both allows uncertainty to exist and you to move towards something different. This is why folks do cold plunges. They're training themselves to be calm in the uncomfortable. Thinking on your feet is not always about solving problems. It's about having a mindset that can help you move through discomfort, having learned something new about yourself, being able to spread your new wings and soar to new experiences. Routines can hold you steady. Leaning into intentional discomfort within the daily routine can carry you through the uncertain times.
So grateful you listened to this episode of the Inspired Hive podcast. Be sure to follow me on social media at Inspired Hive Podcast, and don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. I can't wait to see you back here for our next episode, and as always, remember to live inspired.